because actually, while I'm just sitting, I'm gonna pull up the video I'm reviewing. You do hear my air conditioner. You know it's hot. I'm in Florida and it's hot. But I will turn it down once we start the video. Let's do a. We usually do a. Where is it? We usually pick a filter so that it doesn't look so dark. What are these filters? Like literally, these ain't the filter. Wait, maybe I'm looking for the. I be on TikTok too, so maybe TikTok too. That sound like TikTok too. I be on TikTok too, girl. Tongue twister. But I hope that's the right one. But it gets so dark in my car that the playback just looks horrible. Okay, so we are going to look for this video. I was listening to it. I just put out the video previous to this. I was talking about Delafay testimonies, and I was saying that the testimony video that I watched that brought me to that channel was the one of this guy that had got sentenced to 20 years for murking somebody. And God cut his sentence in half. So that literally, now, I got to explain that because I'm not saying that he deserved his sentence to be cut in half when he'd outed somebody, right? That is not what I'm saying. And people like to insert things where they do not go. That is not what I'm saying. I do not condone that. But what I'm saying is God is the judge, right? And what he says is the verdict, right? Okay, so let's find that video, and once I get it up, we can start. Actually, I just watched it, so it should be easy to find. This morning, it wasn't too easy to find. But yeah, I just been doing housework. Oh my gosh, ah, I'm in some pain. Pain! Like PAIN pain. Like pain. Girl, everything hurt. My eyes hurt. My neck hurt. My jaw hurt, girl. My jaw hurt. It do for real. This is so tight. I just left the house. I had did like put muscle rub all up on my jaw. I had TMJ, and I got 3 herniated discs in my neck from a slip and fall. So I have not been to my chiropractor. This is taking a long time to load. I hope it plays while I'm in the car. But I haven't been to my chiropractor in over a year. It's hit over a year. I literally, times have gotten, y'all already know what inflation is doing, right? And to be honest, what most people are doing are taking on a second job. Well, I can barely work my first job, so I can't work no second job. I can't even work all the hours that. Oh, okay, it's because I can't even work all the hours that they have me down for. So when they're trying to send me home because, business is low, I don't even trip because I literally can't work that much anyway. But when I don't work, so average, I've been working like 3 days a week and I'd be in so much pain. So my little journey, I've been praying to leave the job I'm at because I really can't do it. And I do the best I can to do it. Like, so just because I'm disabled don't mean I go in there half stepping. I do the job requirements like to a higher standard than it's actually required, right? So my disabilities are invisible. So you can't see. I can perform well, I could do the job, but I just go home in pain. Like I hurt for days afterwards. So I can do the job, but it just pains me afterwards. So I've been praying that God would give me something that I can do without the pain, right? So I'm like, okay, well, the hours are hurting me, and when I get that little baby paycheck, I'd be like wanting to cry, but I'm like, okay, but I prayed that God would remove me from the job. So how can I want to be away from the job so that I can work on my creativity? How could I want that? But when God is cutting me back, then I'm crying because I ain't got no paycheck. So I got to be calm, take my little baby paycheck home, and let me tell you, but God actually, that paycheck get me through. It really do. I don't know how, but the next week come by, I barely have a dime, but everything be paid. And I really don't even know. It's the grace of God that I am still able to make it without even hardly working. My check, I'm gonna just be honest. I usually don't be honest like that. Like, that's too much personal information, girl. But literally, like, I get paid weekly, so I might bring home 200 something a week. That's it. That's it. That is it. And I haven't sold artwork in the longest. My channel ain't no ways monetized. Trying to my latest thing was I was like, I'm gonna try to get to 1,000 on TikTok so that I can join TikTok shop. But then as soon as I was, that was my plan, that's when it looked like TikTok. I am getting followers, but it also looks like TikTok unfollows people every time I get a follower. So it gives me the same notification. Oh, you got 9 followers, but somehow it subtracts, but then adds it. I noticed that y'all did that, but I guess we supposed to be blind and dumb. So, well, I am legally blind, but I ain't dumb. But I see what they're doing, so I don't think they want me to grow any more past where I'm at on TikTok. So nothing is really, no pot is boiling right now, and this is where faith is gonna come in. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like, I had to leave my chiropractor, which I only am able to get through work weeks with being under continuous chiropractic care. But when all this happened and it's like I got to cut from somewhere, the first thing I had to cut was the chiropractic care. So it's ironic. I need it to work, but I can't afford it, right? So I said that I was going to just skip a few payments. And then it ended up, oh, for my birthday, I was like, oh, I want to do something for me. I went to do this neck decompression, thinking, like, I have been literally trying everything to relieve and get through my pain and pressure and all of that stuff. So I did this thing called decompression, and I didn't. It was like for 2 months almost. I don't even think it reached 2 months, but it ended up being $3,000. So because now I owe that bill, and I'm still paying that back from last year from this birthday gift I call myself giving myself. What the heck was that? I call myself giving myself something that might help me and relieve my pain, and then I just gave myself another bill, really. So until I pay that off, I can't afford, because I'm paying monthly for that. So how did I do that? I left the chiropractor to save money just to go pay another chiropractor to not be able to go to the chiropractor I need to go to for a whole year or more until I can pay off that 3,000 or whatever. So I've been in some rock and bang for real. Yes. And then the other day, oh my gosh, I was standing at the register. And this ain't even what this video about. Why do I get so sidetracked? I'm going to have to, because I rambled on, y'all know Cadillac will get off track. Because I rambled on, I'm going to have to stop this video because it's a whole different topic and then restart it. And plus, by then I have the video up because I can't seem to find the video. Girl, where the video at? Like, why is it not there? Like, I just watched it. But yeah. So okay, I'm just gonna tell you this little story, and then I'm gonna end the video and then restart it, and we're gonna review that video from this gentleman on Delafaye Testimonies. Okay, but I go through a thing like, okay, the problem with me, like I'm a graphic designer, right? And the reason I'm not even acting in graphic design, I'm a cosmetologist too. I carry many accolades that you could go hang on your wall, but because I am disabled, is, you know, just a hoop dream, right? I'm gonna be a graphic designer. I'm an artist. God gave me that ability. He gave me so many different talents, and it's just I have to work for myself. I'm not fast enough to be able to work for a company. So I've been the plan from 2020 when I graduated during the shutdown, girl. Like, who graduates during the shutdown? Like, literally. So the whole industry just shuts down, and I literally went to school for an industry that ain't even there. And then when they opened up, they weren't looking for 39-year-old disabled graphic designers. They weren't looking for that, right? So I knew from 2020 that I was going to have to basically do my own freelance business. Okay, until business can take effect, because you don't just formulate a business and boom, it's booming. It doesn't happen like that. It's all this gray area. It's even, I tell y'all, when I was a cosmetologist, you don't get out of hair school and boom, you making it. It's this whole in between. You gathering your clientele, you trying to get loyal clientele, you trying to be like, even if you make enough, but you don't make enough past booth rent, like literally, where are you gonna get paid? So that means you have to work, right? Work. Y'all know I got that song. Work to live and I live to work. I hustle hard until it hurts. I work my fingers down to the bone. And once I pay my bills, ain't got nothing to come home with. Hey, once I pay my bills, ain't got nothing to come home with. Once I pay my bills, ain't got nothing to come home with. Yeah, she get a Cadillac. Nothing to come home with, right? So this has always been a challenge in my life. Even when I was doing my rapper career, I always had to work. I was a single mother. I was a college student. Sometimes had 2 jobs. One time I had 3 jobs. But I always had to do whatever I'm doing on top of working, because nothing else supplied the paycheck, right? But now it's just getting so much harder for me to work. But that's why I went through college, and I was like, once I finish college, this should be, past where I could just go ahead and get something, because I am getting older and I need to settle myself before, my ship sinks. This ship is going down. It's going down for real. Like, it's literally sinking. This work ship. I know I can't work too much longer in my life. So not in that manner. Like, literally, I have so much brain and brilliance and talent and creativity drawing. I can work in that manner, like doing those things, but manual working is not gonna. I could barely, even stand up a full shift, right? So I know that ship is sinking. So I need this life raft. I've been trying to build this life raft to get off that ship once that ship, sinks. And I thought school was going to finally be that raft to get me towards, but it didn't really work out like that. So from 2020 to 2024, when I came back, oh my gosh, I think I pulled my back after we went back from the pandemic. I pulled my back real bad, and I had a few months off, and that's when I got into YouTube, and I said, I'm just going to grind this out. I'm going to get this channel monetized, and I'm not returning to work. Lo and behold, I, I ain't no ways monetized, girl. Still ain't no ways monetized. But I thought in my mind it was gonna happen in 2021, and I would not return back to work. But it happened, and I returned back to work. Right. And then when I did return back, I get discouraged, but I don't give up. I literally don't even know how to give up. If somebody could show me how to give up, then maybe I could take some notes because I don't know how to give up. Like, literally, I want to so bad because it's not working, but I don't know how to give up. I don't know how to throw in the towel. Even if I throw in that towel, I'm going to go back over there and go pick that towel back up and be like, but wait, if I try this one last thing, it might work. Right? That's just how I am. Like, I don't know. I really don't get it. But I don't know how to give up. So when I did have to return back to work, I told myself that, okay, I'm going to work on my stuff, and I'm still going to, just because I return back to work does not mean that that is not going to happen. I'm not going to build my graphic design freelance business and it becomes successful enough to actually be able to leave the job. I'm not going to stop that. And with working, and you get home and you're tired, and now I'm hurting like crazy. I got 2 new grandbabies. I got my daughter. I got my husband that's in prison. I got so much going on. I'm on TikTok now, recording, not really recording new content for TikTok. I really just repurposed my YouTube content because I got thousands of videos now, right? So I repurpose it over there. But that still in itself takes time. Networking on TikTok, on YouTube, between all of that, I hardly get that anything done on that business. And now I'm so far past graduating that I'm very discouraged because I'm like, you went and got you a degree to just go work at a restaurant. That's literally what I did. So now I feel like I'm so far past that it really feel like there's no, I'm not even gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it because I ain't gonna speak that out my mouth. But it feels like that. So I don't know. I'm just very discouraged on even trying. But like I said, I don't know how to give up. So you either give up or you keep trying. So I'm gonna just keep trying, right? So, anyways, at work, like, it's hard. I go through so much at work. Not only am I disabled, and I'm in my own mind trying to even figure out how to get through this pain with this work day, I have coworkers that, because I have special accommodations, which means now they can't throw all the work off on me, which is what they usually do. They'll leave me just right there by myself doing everything. But because they can't do it, they hate on me. They mistreat me. They do so much. They on purpose run from the front whenever guests come in, just so I can do the thing that I have the doctor note not to do. So I'd be like literally crying inside. I'd be in so much pain. Sometimes I get a glove full of ice and just ice my hands, or I would be icing my back. Nobody, I don't draw attention to myself, so nobody really knows I'm in pain like that. I go to the bathroom with my muscle rub cream, and I just rub my face, my neck, my back. I even sit on that little nasty floor and stretch because I be in so much pain. Like, do some stretches, and I come back and smile and treat the guests. But it's a lot. So I'm going through a lot at work. So I've been praying that, I know that this is just temporary, right? So when opportunities come by, I don't want to just bat them down because that might be the opportunity, that takes me out of there. But because I am disabled and I literally don't know what I can do in a job until I'm on the job. So I'm sorry, I went off on that rant because what I was saying, when I was in graphic design school, I made this slogan: disability doesn't mean no ability. So just because I'm disabled does not mean I'm not able in any manner. I have a lot of great abilities. I have a lot of great abilities over, in certain areas, and then I lack in some areas, right? So that doesn't mean I'm purposeless just because I'm disabled. It's just I have to be accommodated. Like I cannot do all the work, right? So that's why I went off on that rant. I'm sorry. But it makes it hard to, like, people are like, why don't you just transfer? And I'm like, in my mind, like, for what? Literally, I was in the laundry room. I had to transfer because they were doing literally the same thing. I still was disabled. I was hurting so bad. You can imagine in a laundry room. Oh my God, I was in so much pain. And they would be talking smack because I had FMLA and I had to take off days to recover. And they, oh yeah, this and this and that, and ain't like shit gonna be here tomorrow. And I mean, it's like no matter where I go, my disability gonna follow me because it's part of me, and they're gonna just do the same thing. So people are like, why don't you just transfer out of here? And I'm like, it will literally be the same thing somewhere else. I work in a theme park, so there's a lot of different locations. So that's the one thing about my job. Each location feels there's hundreds of locations, like literally. But I've been in several, and it's literally the same thing. And I'm like, why keep transferring when it's me? Like literally, it's gonna follow me wherever I go. But then when I say things like that, people say you're just negative, right? So I try to be open minded, and they had the manager ran past me. They don't have a lot of hours in my venue, so they're trying to get us hours, right? So she's like, "Can I put you in the ice cream shop, girl?" What you think? I thought when she said that, and I have the biggest smile, and I be cringing inside like the ice cream shop. What am I gonna? I could just see myself now. I used to do the Italian ice place. And that block of ice, scooping it with your hand, oh my God, my hand used to feel like it was just a nub. So I could imagine myself scooping this hard ice cream. Because it's that thick ice cream. It's not the little thin McDonald's machine don't never work ice cream. Not that ice cream. Side note, why is they charging $3-4 for that little, that ain't even ice cream. Girl, I guess because the machine don't never work. So when they do make a sale, they got to really make a sale. But that thick ice cream, that twisty treat type ice cream, girl. So I can imagine myself with my little hands barely scooping the ice cream. The lines be from here to there because it's a theme park. So your line don't never stop. And I could just see myself like crying on the inside. So I told her, yeah. Crazy. I told her, yeah, it was either no hours or go to the ice cream shop, right? Hold on, my hand actually hurting, so I gotta put this phone down. See, these are the effects of after you do your good job at work, you take that pain home. So now my hands don't work because I did such a good job at work this week. Right? That's crazy, but that's the price I pay. Let me wipe this off because I just smudged it. But yeah, so sorry. Oh, did it turn off my filter? Girl, put my filter. Oh no, it's still on there. All right. Okay, so I was cringing. I'm like, yeah, I'm working. Yeah, sure. So in my mind, I was like, Keita, you got to take chances. It could be better. You always fear it, but what if it's a better position, right? And God is giving you that out and you're turning it down. So that's why I said, yes, I have to take the opportunity. But I already had that thought like, oh, and I actually was dreading that shift. When she told me about it, I was already, oh God, not this week, but next week. And then when the next week came, not today, but in 2 days, and then in one day, and then oh my gosh, tomorrow, and then the day of, I was so scared. I'm like, okay, so really I can't do register like that because of the carpal tunnel and because of my herniated disc, and you have to look down to the register. And my neck, which is crazy, I have a reverse curvature in my neck. So it's literally like instead of your neck supporting your head, it's like my neck dangles from my head. So my head, pretty big head, right? Pretty big, girl. It got to be about how many pounds my head look like, girl. So it doesn't, my neck doesn't support my head. It kind of dangles and holds my head, like dangling from my neck. So that's why the muscles tighten up to pull the head up, right? I ain't got no small head, girl. I got too much knowledge up there to be a small headed person. No, I'm just playing. Oh, but that's the issue, right? So I really am not supposed to be looking down at a register and then using my hand, carpal tunnel hand, which is also pinching the main nerve artery that goes down to your hand. So looking down at a register is worse for both parts of my body. And that's strategically where they always have to put me, because these people run off to the back every time a guest comes in. So I get stuck at the register. So I'm like, either ice cream with my peg hands, scooping it over and over and over, or register, which I really can't do. But I'm like, okay, well, on this register, at least I don't have to hardly type in nothing. I just type in the type of ice cream. It's like 2 buttons, and then it's their total, and then it's their cash. Now, sometimes counting cash gets a lot for my hands, but most people pay with card, right? So, and then I was like, I can get through the shift. I could just ice my hands afterwards. Like, I know how to recover. So I'm thinking, oh, I'll be okay. I mean, even if, but I was going to gear towards trying to see if they'll put me on that register. Even though that's the place in my home location that really hurts me. I know I can't be scooping up no ice cream like that. Not no 8 hours, right? So I go there and they put me on the register. And I'm like, fine. Do you know, oh my God, I was doing okay. And I have a slip disc in my bottom back. So you already know your neck hurt, but then that bottom back, when you working, that's what supports and holds you up. You literally, it'd be hard to bend and twist and to stand up straight through the shift when that bottom back hurts. And then because I have the slip disc in the bottom back, it creates sciatica in my legs. So my legs be tight, sore, hurting, which I just massage my legs as well before I had just came in here to record this video. So did some stretches, massage, and took me a hot shower, and now, good to go. But my legs was getting real tight, so I rock. I can't stand still. I don't have no bottom vertebrae. Like, what am I stand on? That is hurt, right? So I'm like, but I can get through this. I'm just rocking. I'm taking their orders. My hands, they numbing up a little bit, but they're not numb. As long as they're not numb, I can ignore the pain and then just ice my hands later to try to get rid of the pain. But I'm just rocking, or I'll just sit on like one leg. I'll rest on the one leg, which the chiropractor told me that wasn't good because it puts too much force on that side and it's shifting my hips, right? But can't get back to the chiropractor to get my alignment, so, So I'm like, but I can get through it. I went to lunch. It was nice. I ate at the little place. They had a patio. I love the sunset. When I'm off from work, y'all know I be at the park taking pictures. I do sunset photography, and then I just walk and watch the sunset. That's one of my normal things. So it made me feel centered at work. I can watch the sunset. Came back for the second part of my shift. So I'm standing at the register, and all of a sudden, my foot. Okay, let's say this is my foot. Hopefully, my hand ain't ashy. Girl, I got that alligator skin. Okay, let's say this is my foot. It felt like all of a sudden, like it just went like bent, like the toes bent back like that, and they were stuck, and I literally could not move it. It hurted so bad. Have you ever gotten a Charlie horse in your leg where you sleep and your leg just extends all the way out and you can't move it, you cannot bend it back, and it hurts so bad, and you have to like tap the muscle to let you pull it back in? That's what happened to my toe. I'm like, oh my, and I got the straight face, like, okay, thank you for coming, and but I'm like in my mind, oh my God, Jesus, please, like what is this? I done been in some pain. I ain't never what is this? It's breaking my toe. What? Ah! So I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to. And usually I'm a person that be like, I'm good, I can make it, I'm a strong person. And I thought I was gonna have to sit in the back until I could get my foot to move, like my toe to, bend back. And finally, I picked it up and started like wobbling it, and it released and let me move my toe again. And I was like, oh my God, I don't know what that was, Lord, but please don't ever let that happen no more. I don't even, and I'm scared now. I'm like, what is that? And I'm, okay, so I am at a point, okay, I don't know if you heard of anything called subluxation, but it's pinched nerves. And the pinched nerves causes your vertebrae to collapse. Hold on one second. I got a cough now. Okay, it causes your vertebrae, your cartilage to start to collapse. So there's different stages of subluxation. It's subluxation, I'm sorry. The pinched nerves causes the blood to not flow and get the nutrients and everything it needs to that vertebrae. So in turn, it starts making your cartilage collapse, right? So there's different stages of subluxation. You got this much space, you got this much space, you got this much space, and then boom, you're bone on bone. When I started my chiropractic care was at stage 3 of subluxation. Stage 4 is bone on bone. It was like, we need to not let you get no further than that. And when I went to this man, the first thing he told me, I was scared, because I'm like, you can't help me. Ain't nobody ever been able to help me. So I'm just going through this, but I know you're not going to be able to help me in my mind. So the first thing he tells me, he says, you're at stage 3. I'm like, oh, wow. Like, I could have guessed that. I'm sure I was far along. I knew it was bad. And he was like, so I said, can you even help me? Like, and he's like, yes, we can help you. And I'm glad you got here when you did, because when you're in stage 4, it's nothing left for you but surgeries, which surgeries just cause, it is bone on bone. At that point, there's not a lot of hope. And the surgery actually just causes more problems. So you live a life in pain, and it ends up being like the guy that what's his name? Is it Christopher Reed? Superman. He had that issue. I believe he fell off a horse and his disc started to collapse and he became paralyzed. So I'm right before that stage, and the whole plan was to not get any worse than I am. I can't get my cartilage back. I can't fully, recover, but it was to not get worse and to not, but now I'm like, dang, I've been gone for a year, and the fear was that, please, Lord, don't let me be in stage 4. And when I felt that day, I'm like, oh my God. Gotta be there, you know. But I'm not claiming that. But that's the thoughts that be in my head. Like, oh my gosh, I gotta be at that stage. Like I literally had only, and I went to that day. Oh, and I've been so tired. Okay, so the last day of summer, I usually take the kids everywhere, and really ain't been having no money and time and stuff like that, and everything is so high. I wanted to take them to the Kennedy Space Center, but that is extremely high per person. I can't afford that now. So I didn't take the kids nowhere really. I took them to the train museum. I do a lot of cheap things, which my mother always said, there's a discount I can find, right? So I took them to the train museum. We went to the butterfly garden in Gainesville. That was kind of cheap, and they had a museum there too. And I just felt bad that I didn't get to do much else with them. So I took them to the science center. um, my sister, shout out to my sister, she paid for it because I didn't have the money to do it, but she paid for it, and we got passes to go. So y'all went with us, with my daughter and my granddaughter that I had to chase all over that place, girl, and the baby. We all went out that day, my sister. And then now, when my sister paid the upgrade, I could bring the kids. You could bring as many kids as you want, and you three adults, y'all get in free, right? So I said, okay, perfect. So I can bring the kids. And I wanted to take them because I was like, Friday is really the only day. Because Saturday we had planned that Marcello, my husband, he was gonna meet our grandson for the first time. My daughter returning back to work from her maternity leave. So she works on Sunday. I usually go and visit my husband on Sundays. But because she works on Sunday, we were going to go to visit that Saturday, right? So that he can meet, his grandchild before she goes back to work. So we planned it. Oh my gosh, I got a whole story about that. When you dealing with DOC, like they are, our loved ones are the scum of the earth. They're worse than gum under the shoe, worse than dog poop in the park. They are the scum of the earth. And because we are there supporting them, we become scum of the earth. We are treated as though we are nothing, 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 nothing. I'm the smallest morsel of anything. It's hard to describe it, but if you deal with anything with the prison system, you're dirt, right? You're dirt. I'm dirt because my husband's in prison wrongfully, literally. But they treat you as such, right? So they had us in that sweltering hot sun, they do little things just to make it more hard for you to come to visitation. And they do that. I'm going to do a whole story time about that visitation. And they do that to discourage you from coming. If you don't come to see your loved ones, that means they can treat your loved ones however they please. They can unjustly. Now, I know most people don't care because they say, oh, these are criminals, so it doesn't matter. They shouldn't have did what they did. But what you don't really know is that system is not fair nor just. And there's many people in prisons all over this land that don't deserve I was about to say it. The treatments, but you know what I want to say, that they are going through. They don't deserve it. It is inhumane. There are some that may deserve it, but there's a many that don't deserve it. And there's a many that deserve it, and they out here free amongst us. But y'all don't get all up in arms about that. You only get up in arms about when we're talking about prisoners being treated unfairly, right? But they were doing way too much that day, and it was so hot. So that Friday, Took the kids to the science center all day. I went straight to work. I worked in that ice cream shop. My foot collapsed. I don't know what the heck happened to my foot. I worked to 2 in the morning. Well, by the time I got home, it was 2 in the morning. And usually in my regular location, I get home by 12. I had to get up for visitation early, so I got like 5 hours of sleep. I had to stand in the line at visitation with all these collapsed vertebrae, holding my grandchild in the little what's that? That carrier. He big, he hefty, holding him and back about to collapse on time. Like it literally like do like a slinky. You close that slinky up. Stood up all day in that hot sun as they played. They let us in, we visited, and then right after visitation, dropped them off, had to run back to work. And I'm checking my schedule, and I'm like, I know you kidding me, because I was saying I had got through that ice cream shift, and I know I can make it. I'm good. I'm gonna get to work. I'm gonna fly under the radar. I'm just gonna bust them tables, sweep the floor, change the trash, and be good. Like it's more people that work on that day, so I should not end up on the register. Just to check my schedule and say the ice cream shop again. Do you know how I wanted to cry? I'm like, I'm already hurting, Lord. I didn't even have no time to recover from that shift. And I'm back at I was so dreading it. I was like, should I call in? Should I? And that's when I said, well, God got me. He knows the pain I'm in. He knows I can't hardly do this, right? So I go to work, and surprise, they put me on dishes. And I'm like, oh, I should be good. I could do dishes. I'm good at dishes. And for a little while, I did, for most of the night, I did dishes. But for like an hour, I was back at that register. And as soon as I stood at that register, I felt that foot thing happening again. I'm like, oh my goodness, I got 4 more hours to get through this shift. Oh my God. So I got through that shift on Saturday, and then I got back up and visited my husband. I got back home at 2 in the morning again. Got back up, went to visitation. This day, Saturday and Sunday, was night and day. Got there and went straight on into visitation. They just literally played. They played games. And I'm going to do a video versus Saturday visitation and Sunday. And it's like, it's been crazy. And now I had them text me like, oh, what your shift at the ice cream? I'm like, oh, so now I can't handle the register. Oh, so y'all got some other stuff for me. Y'all gonna keep putting me in that ice cream shop to where my whole body just collapses. And that made me want it to basically, like, I'm sitting here now, I'm on my day off, but I'm dreading because I go back to work tomorrow, and I'm like, oh, what they got in store for me. I said, no, I got to let that be. I know God is detaching me from that place, and I just got to stop being scared and fearful. I know He got better for me, and if it is for me to collapse, it's a plan in that somehow. So, all right, guys. I done talked so much. Am I even going to do this whole other video? I guess I need to. But gosh, how did I ramble? How y'all let me ramble like that, girl? How y'all? All right, guys. It's your girl Cadillac.